Inflation. It's a word that gets thrown around a lot, but what does it actually mean for you? Simply put, inflation is when things get more expensive over time. Your dollar just doesn't stretch as far as it used to. Remember when a gallon of milk cost a couple of bucks? Now it feels like you need a small loan for basic groceries. This happens because of various factors at play in the economy. Sometimes it's due to increased production costs. Think higher prices for raw materials or labor. Other times it's a surge in demand that outpaces supply. Whatever the cause, the result is the same. Your purchasing power takes a hit. Think of it like this. Imagine your wallet is a balloon, and inflation is like slowly letting the air out. The balloon, your purchasing power, gets smaller even though you haven't taken any money out. That's inflation silently shrinking your wallet's strength. It's crucial to understand inflation because it directly impacts your financial health and your ability to maintain your standard of living. By grasping the basics of inflation, you can start making informed decisions to protect and grow your money, even when prices are on the rise. Now let's talk numbers. You might hear in the news that inflation is at 2.4%. That might not seem like a huge deal, right? But hold on. While 2.4% might seem small, it adds up over time, slowly but surely eating away at your purchasing power. Let's break it down. Imagine your average monthly expenses are $5,000. With a 2.4% inflation rate, you'll be spending an extra $120 per month, or $1,440 more per year for the same things you buy today. That's $120 that could have gone towards your savings goals, investments, or even just a nice dinner out. Over time, this seemingly small percentage can significantly impact your finances, especially if your income doesn't keep pace with the rising prices. It's like a slow leak in your tire. You might not notice it at first, but eventually, it'll leave you stranded. That's why it's so crucial to pay attention to inflation and understand its impact on your wallet, even when it seems like a small number. By understanding how inflation affects your spending, you can start making smarter financial decisions to stay ahead of the curve. One of the most noticeable places inflation rears its head is in the grocery store. Remember when you could get a week's worth of groceries for under $100? Now it feels like you're dropping a small fortune just for the essentials. That's inflation at work. The price of everything from fresh produce to pantry staples is on the rise, thanks to factors like increased transportation costs, supply chain disruptions, and even the weather. But don't despair. There are ways to outsmart rising food prices and protect your grocery budget. Start by planning your meals in advance and building a shopping list around those meals. This can help you avoid impulse purchases and reduce food waste. Another tip is to become a savvy shopper. Look for sales and discounts and don't be afraid to try generic or store brand products. They often offer the same quality as name brands at a fraction of the cost. You can also explore alternative grocery options like local farmers markets or community-supported agriculture programs, which can sometimes offer fresher produce at lower prices. Remember, every little bit helps. By implementing these strategies, you can stretch your grocery budget further and keep more money in your pocket, even when food prices are climbing. Gas prices. Is there anything more frustrating than watching those numbers at the pump relentlessly tick upwards? Unfortunately, gas prices are another area where inflation hits hard. Factors like geopolitical tensions and refinery capacity contribute to those painful price hikes. For many of us, driving is a necessity to get to work, school, or run essential errands. So, how can you navigate the fuel price roller coaster without breaking the bank? One strategy is to become a more fuel-efficient driver. Avoid aggressive driving habits like speeding and hard braking. Explore alternative transportation methods whenever possible. Can you carpool, take public transportation, bike, or even walk? You'll save on gas and reduce your carbon footprint. If you're in the market for a new car, consider fuel efficiency. Opting for a fuel-efficient vehicle can save you money in the long run. Every little bit counts when combating rising gas prices. By adopting these strategies, you can control your fuel costs and keep more money in your wallet. Section 5. Rent Reality Bites, Coping with Increasing Housing Costs. For many people, rent is the biggest monthly expense, and it's not immune to inflation. Rent prices have been rising steadily, straining renters' budgets. High demand, limited supply, and inflation drive this surge. Increased costs of materials, labor, and taxes are passed to renters. How can you cope without resorting to extreme measures? Try negotiating with your landlord. Landlords may negotiate, especially if you have a good rental history. Consider downsizing to a smaller or more affordable unit. Moving might save you money in the long run. Explore sharing your space with a roommate. Splitting rent and utilities can reduce expenses. You have options to manage rising rent costs. Explore strategies and make informed decisions to navigate the rental market confidently. Section 6. Budgeting in the Balance Tips for Financial Stability. Let's face it, budgeting isn't the most exciting topic. It's not exactly glamorous, but it's an essential tool for financial stability, especially during times of inflation. Think of your budget as a roadmap for your money. It helps you track your income and expenses so you can see where your money is going and identify areas where you can cut back or save more. Start by tracking your spending for a month or two to get a clear picture of your cash flow. You can use a budgeting app, a spreadsheet, or even just a good old-fashioned notebook. The key is to find a method that works for you and stick with it. Once you have a good understanding of your spending habits, you can start creating a realistic budget that aligns with your financial goals. Allocate your income to essential expenses like housing, food, transportation, and debt payments first, then set aside money for savings and discretionary spending. Remember, your budget isn't meant to be restrictive. It's about making conscious choices about your spending so you can achieve your financial goals and weather any economic storm, including inflation. Section 7. Smart Spending Strategies. Making your money go further. Inflation might be shrinking your wallet's purchasing power, but that doesn't mean you have to completely give up on the things you enjoy. It's all about being strategic with your spending and finding ways to make your money go further. One of the simplest ways to save money is to be more mindful of your everyday purchases. Ask yourself if you really need that daily latte, or if you can brew a pot of coffee at home instead. Can you pack your lunch a few times a week instead of eating out? Another strategy is to become a master of comparison shopping. Whether you're shopping for groceries, clothes, electronics, or anything else, take the time to compare prices from different retailers, both online and offline. You might be surprised at how much you can save by simply doing a little research. Don't forget to leverage the power of discounts and deals. Sign up for email lists and loyalty programs for your favorite retailers to stay informed about sales and promotions. You can also use coupon websites and apps to find deals on everything from groceries to travel. Remember, small changes in your spending habits can make a big difference over time, especially when it comes to combating inflation. By adopting some of these smart spending strategies, you can stretch your budget further and still enjoy the things you love. Section 8. Supercharging savings. Building a financial cushion. Having a healthy savings account is always important, but it's even more crucial during times of inflation. Think of your savings as a financial cushion that can protect you from unexpected expenses or income disruptions. The golden rule of personal finance is to pay yourself first. That means setting aside a portion of your income for savings before you even think about spending it. Aim to save at least 20% of your net income each month. If that seems like a lot, start small and gradually increase your savings rate over time. Even if you can only swing $50 or $100 extra per month, it all adds up over time. Another strategy is to explore high-yield savings accounts or money market accounts, which offer higher interest rates than traditional savings accounts. While the interest rates might still be lower than inflation, they can at least help you mitigate some of the erosion of your purchasing power. Don't forget about the power of automation. Set up automatic transfers from your checking account to your savings account each month. This way, you'll be less likely to spend the money and more likely to reach your savings goals. Remember, building a financial cushion takes time and effort, but it's one of the best things you can do to safeguard your financial future, especially during times of economic uncertainty like we're facing with inflation. Section 9. Preparedness is key weathering the inflation storm. Inflation might be a fact of life, but it doesn't have to control your finances. By understanding how inflation works, adopting smart spending and saving habits, and staying informed about economic trends, you can weather the inflation storm and come out ahead. Remember, knowledge is power. The more you understand about inflation and its impact on your finances, the better equipped you'll be to make informed decisions that protect your purchasing power and grow your wealth over time. Don't be afraid to seek professional financial advice if you need help creating a budget, managing debt, or developing a long-term financial plan. A financial advisor can provide personalized guidance based on your individual circumstances and goals. The key takeaway is this: Inflation is a challenge, but it's not insurmountable. By being proactive, informed, and adaptable, you can navigate the ups and downs of the economy and achieve your financial goals no matter what the future holds.